Hi, I'm Christian with Forest of Art and Healing Arts and Yoga Bear Box. And this is a set of videos in which I'm going to be talking about the second statement or motto that the Yoga Bear is making. The first one, which we dealt with over the last couple of weeks, was awareness is the zone. And this statement that the bear is saying is inhabit your body. And these two videos are going to be theoretical videos about somatics, somatic theory. If you're looking for a practical video, we have a lot of other videos on our YouTube site that have practical advice in yoga and stretching and body work and stuff like that. So here in these next two videos, we're going to be talking some theory. To say inhabit your body is to say you inhabit your body. Let's open up this sentence and explore it through asking 5 questions. What is a body? Who is you? What do we mean by inhabit? Are there forces that inhibit us from inhabiting our bodies? What can we do to counter these forces and inhabit our bodies? I will explore the first 4 questions in this video and the last one in a second video. First, what is a body? Well, it's a biological entity. Once conceived, it begins to gestate, and if it follows species-specific genetic instructions under certain circumstances, it will thrive to full term or close to it and be birthed. However, 60 to 73% of natural single human conceptions die before the 6th week of embryonic life. Of the remaining survivors, another 10% do not make it to birth. Most of these embryos do not live long enough even to register their existence to their mothers carrying them. Statistically, most bodies will end up as carnal waste before there is any self to inhabit them. We can use these facts to remind ourselves of our material, fleshy nature and its frailty. Now, I'm a materialist, and I do not hold that there's any soul which incorporates the body, nor is there any God to which we will return through yogic union. Maybe if we can accept these cold, hard facts, then we can take better care of our material body. Once born, the infant cannot thrive by itself. It is helpless. It needs continued care. It even needs something that has come to be called extragestation. A bit like a kangaroo, but instead of the pouch, the infant needs touch. It needs to be held, to be rocked, along with feeding and cleaning. Otherwise, it will not survive. To get all of this, the infant needs a mothering other. The emphasis here is on the function of mothering, not on the gender of the caregiver. And crucially, for what I'm talking about in this video, the key notion here is that the infant needs an other, another human, to help it survive. Now, there's no self present in the infant at birth. There's no self to inhabit the neonatal body. There's a mind in the infant. This mind began developing at about 6 weeks after conception, when it received its first sensations in its embryonic protobrain, and that was a sensation of touch. Touch is the first sensation to develop, a very interesting fact that will be useful for us later in this discussion. The nervous system and the brain arise from the same germal layer as the skin, and this layer is called the ectoderm. And these two organs, the skin and the brain, remain intimately connected throughout life. In fact, one can say that functionally, the skin is the surface of the brain. Another sensation that starts developing early in utero is kinesthesis. In my video on kinesthesis, I show that it is this sense of our body moving in space that builds our capacity to move. Movement begins from feeling. As the baby is moving and kicking around in utero, it is developing its kinesthesis. Similarly, the mind begins from feeling, first from feeling touch. So at birth, the following are present: 2 bodies, the infant and the mothering other; 2 minds, the infant's and the other's, but only one self. The infant has no self yet, no conscious I to inhabit its body. The birth of the self, that you that can inhabit your body, occurs through stages during infancy, and it occurs at the infant's skin in an encounter with the other. The other is touching, holding, feeding, and cleaning the infant. The infant experiences the other at its skin, and then, in developing stages of hearing, smelling, and seeing, it experiences the other in its proximity. The infant becomes aware of another. It comes to need the other. It has to need the other materially, otherwise it will fail to thrive. And it's through this encounter that the infant discovers an other to the other. So the other, the mothering other, is on the outside of the skin. It's contacting the infant. But then there's another being present, and the infant discovers that. And through stages and through certain forms of organization in the mind, it comes to understand that to be I, itself. The new self, the infant's I, comes to desire the other. A desire being a function that develops the self, the I wants. But since it is determined and developed through the encounter with the other, or other people, will always figure in the awareness of the self. The other is always there at the center of yourself. The infant will carry the other at its core into childhood and adulthood. For this reason, the self is always susceptible to the influence of the other. And it is through this connection that love and desire grows. But it is also here that domination and oppression can be developed. This will become important later when certain others work to alienate the self from its body, to block the self from inhabiting its body. One important quality of the self is that it can reflect upon itself. The self thinks about itself, and in German philosophy this is called Geist. One part of the self that the self is thinking about is its body, its soma. Being aware of your body is one feature of inhabiting your body. Awareness of your body is a requirement of both inhabiting your body and also of your own subjectivity, of being a subject. This is why awareness is the zone. When you increase your awareness, you will find yourself more at home in your own body. Now, the self should inhabit the body. It is part of one's subjectivity to dwell in a body, to manifest the subject through a physical body, a soma. However, this is a complex relationship and a potentially troubled one because of the persistence and presence of the other in the self and in the body. Now let's consider the developing child. It grows up in a family or some kind of group that acts like a family, and this family has certain rules about inhabiting the body. So let's now start to ask ourselves some questions. In your family, were you allowed to feel your body? To completely feel your body? Everything that you wanted to feel, were you allowed to? Or was anything prohibited? Were you allowed to speak what you feel? Were you allowed to act upon what you felt and what you needed into your body? To whatever degree your family prohibited this, to whatever degree they blocked you from inhabiting your body, they separated you from your body. Or put another way, they alienated you from your body. Members of your family, especially parents, have the power to do this to your developing self because your self owes its existence to the relationship to these others who raised you. Did these people tell you what to feel in your body, how to speak about your body, how to hold your body and move it? Alienation of the body through the power of the other begins here. According to Wilhelm Reich, one reason why the people who raised you might have prohibited you from fully inhabiting your body is because they were not allowed to inhabit their bodies and consequently are alienated from and afraid of their own bodies. If you were to inhabit your body in front of them, it would trigger their fear. So they have to squash your somatic experience. Then you went to school. Now let's ask the same question about school. Were you allowed to feel your body in school? To speak and act upon what you felt in your body? Were you allowed to get up from your seat when you felt you needed to? Were you allowed to touch or play with or hug others that you wanted to? Were you told how to feel, how to speak, and how to hold your body, how to move your body? In fact, wasn't one of the main functions of school the control of your body, the alienation of your body from what you wanted to do to what the system wanted you to do. And this gets you ready for work. Now let's take this person into work. Now under capitalism, when you go to work, you sell your labor power contractually to the boss. And for the period of time that you've been contracted to work, the boss owns your labor power. Since your labor power is connected to your body, to your soma, your body must do what the boss tells you to do. And if it is sit down and write this or think this or code this, or if it is stand at a industrial factory and do this, then that's what you have to do. It's not something you can decide because you have sold or literally contractually alienated your body. So capitalism is the antithesis to inhabiting your body. Now let's consider what type of medicine you use. What medical practices? Do they place you in your body? Do you inhabit your body through your medical practices or not? The dominant medical system of capitalism is allopathic medicine, and that is based upon symptom removal and pain relief. It is not based upon an aware dwelling in the body. The entire project of allopathic medicine is to remove you from this discomfortable fleshy body. So far, even during this quick survey of the places our body grew up in our lives, almost every place, every group, every system inhibits us from inhabiting our bodies. Instead, it is in holistic health care, what is called by the allopaths alternative medicine, where one learns to inhabit one's body through de-alienating health practices. This includes bodywork, massage, or self-bodywork, movement therapy such as yoga, Feldenkrais, Move Nat, and this is what I'm going to talk about in the next video.